I'm Julie Webb and the host of LitCentric Radio. Thank you so much for your purchase today. We're going to take a look at the bridge chart that comes along with the book From Tadpole to Frog. Now, we talk about sentence coherence in this episode, and we're focused on that here by showing students some excerpts from the book. Now, in your lesson, you've got pages that you can print out. These ones I printed out on colored cardstock just because they're a little thicker and more durable. You certainly don't have to do that. You can just do blank white printer paper, whatever works for your students. I chose a color because it shows up a little bit better on video. Okay, so you have several examples from the text. We're just highlighting 4 of them for this chart. That's really all I have room for. And we're going to take a look at how I'd use this with students based on what we described in our lesson. So first here, each of these has the page number that it comes from because we want to show students that this is all from the same paragraph. And it's divided by sentence. Again, we are focusing at the sentence level, and we're showing students how these sentences hang together to create a larger unit and to create a larger unit of meaning, really. So our first example here is from page 13. It says, many of the tadpoles will be eaten by hungry bugs, fish, or turtles, but a few escape. They will grow to be frogs. Now, this sounds like a really kind of simple setup, and it is for an adult reader and writer, but for our students maybe who are writing kind of disjointed facts, list-like pieces, they're not elaborating well, we can show them how these sentences hang together, kind of like a puzzle piece to form kind of a picture at the end. And in this case, we're doing it in a really concrete way, sentence by sentence, each one on its own card. Now here I've taken 2 different colors of marker. I chose green and pink because they showed up pretty well on these cards. You can use any colors that you like, but I do recommend 2 distinct colors so that students can see the difference. In this case, I would show students and actually highlight or underline in front of them and have them help me with that. But I've done it here ahead of time to show you what kind of what it looks like in the end. So here for many of the tadpoles will be eaten by hungry bugs, fish, or turtles. First, I'm focusing on the noun and pronoun connection because, again, that's one that our students don't always do successfully, and it's a really simple one once you learn how to do it. So here I've taken green and underlined where the connection is between the nouns and the pronouns. So our first sentence, the noun is tadpoles. It shows up in a description of a few in the next sentence, and the third sentence it turns to they. So we've got 3 different references to that same basic noun, and we want to show students how those are connected and how we're still talking about the same thing. Next, I want to show the content connection between those sentences and the ideas that are just, trying to be conveyed by the author. In this case, I've chosen pink to underline that. In this first example, the tadpoles will be eaten, so the eaten part, the fact that they're eaten, is going to be underlined. Next, it says, but if you escape, the fact that some escape is what's underlined here. And finally, the fact that they will grow. Those that escape will actually grow into frogs. So we can see kind of the progression, this cause and effect idea. Those are trying to be eaten, some escape, and those that escape actually survive. Okay, so that's the content connection you want to show students. All of that being conveyed in just 3 simple sentences. And here's this example over here that we talked about in our episode. The tadpole has a hard mouth. It uses its mouth to scrape soft plants from the rocks and pebbles in the pond. Again, starting with nouns and pronouns, we go simply from tadpole to it. That's a pretty basic connection there. Next, to underline the content or idea connection, we've got the fact that it's a hard mouth helps it to scrape the soft plants. So that's the idea that's being conveyed there. Another example from page 18, lungs are beginning to form inside the tadpole's body too. Now and then it swims up. Now in this case, on page 18, this paragraph actually connects to the next part on page 19. So let's keep reading. The tadpole puts its head out of the water. It takes little breaths of air. So this is all connected here. So it gets a little more complicated when we have to transfer ideas from one page to the next. So we want to show students how the author did that. Again, let's take a look at our nouns and pronouns. First, we've got tadpole moving to it. Again to tadpole, and again to it, that same basic pattern. Next, we move to our kind of concept connection here. We've got the idea that lungs are forming, it swims up, that's connected to the lungs because it puts its head out of the water and starts to actually breathe air. So this is that progression of the idea here connected between those 4 sentences. So along with some of the other examples that are included in the lesson, I hope you try it out with your students. Let me know how it goes, and thank you again for your purchase and for listening to LitCentric Radio.